Another segment of Conversation with the Mermaid. Mermaid right there. I'm Mark. For those not in the know, we're a married couple. We got married just for this interview series, and then, as soon as this you hit pause or whatever, yeah, it's done. Yeah, deeply committed to this 3 minutes. Um, in that prior section, we referred to how much preparation that goes on with it, and I know this for a fact that every single morning you do a bit of and this is all dry land stuff because we got to keep in mind you're going to be out of the water more than you're in, right?
Out of the water, yes.
Yeah.
It's actually a disappointing part of mermaiding. You get these high hopes and then you go, I can't be in the water all the time.
Right. And yet I still see you, whether it's conditioning and training, you're doing sport specific stuff that's out of the water, right?
Right.
And I know you've been posting some videos about that and you got more to come, right?
Indeed.
Lots more from
Lots
what I've
more.
seen. Okay, good. Well, I think that's useful because I like the fact that how you're so specific with what's going on, specific to that activity, the sport, the art of what's going on. It's easy to say, take a regular thing and go, oh, here's a push-up or here's a plie, and you can do this in mermaiding too. And you go, yeah, okay, maybe, right, but not really. But you're finding ways to make the adaptations to it. But I was going to say is one of the things that's fascinating is I'm well aware of it from the freediving, but from the aspect of how much science and preparation goes in, I know for a fact every single morning you go out and you do a morning breathing session to get yourself deeper into that place. Would you like to explain just a tiny? You don't have to explain everything that's going on there, but like, what's that like for you? What are you doing?
Just the breathing or the meditation?
Nothing, not even the meditation.
Okay.
You can talk about. There's a bit of a meditation, prepping to it to get yourself into a relaxed place.
We do a bit of meditation. It doesn't have to go with it, but just I know it sounds strange sometimes, but get yourself one with nature. Just hear your surroundings, smell your surroundings, taste the air around you, get to know that. But it's actually really calming too, so that leads into doing the breathing exercises afterwards. So just practicing the breath holds, making sure that you can hold your breath on outside of the water for as long as you can, so that you're working to build up your time with that. It's going to be even better once you get in the water anyway. But just making sure that we can do that. So just you take a quick inhale, and then you kind of hold it for a few seconds, but then you want your exhale to be longer than your inhale. You're trying to get out all of your carbon dioxide so that you're freeing the body of your carbon dioxide, because that's what's going to get you in the end whenever you think that you can't hold your breath any longer. And then you want to make sure that you fill up everything, so we don't want to just get into our chest and lungs. We want to make sure that we fill up our air all the way down from our belly all the way through here. So when you take that big breath in, that you're filling your lungs all the way from bottom to top, and then you want to hold it.
Now, let me ask you, because I do know there's a count involved. You do whatever you're doing, and what she's talking about. You take that quick, well, kind of relatively quick inhale, a bit of a hold, and exhale to. In freediving, you just call it you're clearing carbon dioxide, because that's actually whenever it's time to breathe. It's not that you're depleted of oxygen. It's just that your body's reading this carbon dioxide buildup and going, I got to breathe. I'm going to die. You're not going to die. But we're talking out of the water right now. Right. But I believe the ratio is like you're doing like a 4 count in, like. Mm-hmm. Then hold for a 7, and then a slow everything out for 8, and then that big breath you're talking about, filling it top to bottom, and that's where you're hanging on as long as you can.
That's where you hold as long as you can. Mm-hmm. And then when you get done, we were trained, I guess, in the SSI class to make sure that you do your exhale hard and aggressive, and then bring your air back in, because you want to practice just like you were going to be in the water with doing your long breath holds. So you want to make sure that you're getting that air out, bringing it in, that you can hold it, and then release. So it's kind of a quick process with that, but it's still, you want to make sure that you're reoxygenating or replenishing what you think your body should have.
I think what she's saying there is important, because she's talking about this as dry land. Even though it's dry land training, she's still training as if doing this every single morning as if she's in the water, and it's important. That 4-7-8 ratio, you don't have to do that, but what is important when she does finish off that, even though she's dry land, it means when she finally goes, I've held it long enough, I've held the comfort level till it doesn't look cool anymore, and she blows everything out. What she's talking about is called hook breathing in freediving, which is she goes, then this big suck in, and you hold it for 3, and then you blow it out again big, and then you hold it for 3, and then you blow it out again big, and then you're usually back into a relatively calm position. But on why you do that end where you're talking about why we're doing that even on dry land, even thinking, what's the point of that? Because if you've been holding your breath to some degree, whenever you go down, you can come up and experience what's called shallow water blackout. Let alone the fact that as a mermaid or anyone who's diving, you're kind of reducing, you're increasing the pressure in your body, and your blood pressure can actually go down whenever you're coming back up. And sometimes you'll see, free divers in competition or people who are using inefficient breath holds. They might be hyperventilating before they breathe, which you never want to do. They can come up and sometimes they'll black out on the top of the water, which has nothing to do with the oxygen thing. It's talking about this big blood pressure drop. And so this hook breathing, blowing out, pulling it back in big, holding it for 3 is allowing your body to equalize that pressure and make sure you survive. The difference is whenever I do it, I'm loud and boisterous with it because I don't have the aesthetics, and you're still finding a way to get it where it looks presentable. But I like the fact that you're still doing it. You're training on the dry land for the same way you would behave in the water, because how you train is how you'll behave. And if you're only training breath holds and coming out, not ever doing like the hook breathing and the recovery breathing, you could run into a problem if you hit the water. All right?
Exactly.
All right.